Welcome back, guys. In the last episode, we had just reached Grandmaster for the first time ever as a support main, and that's where we kick things off today, starting with game number 1. We're of course playing Sion support, and this one starts off the exact way all the others do, an intense brawl at level 1. Although technically the enemy team gained more gold in that trade than us, we are going to gain a lot more in the long run because I know if we keep the aggression up, we're easily going to close that gap and get a lead because they have no summoner spells. You're exactly right. That combination between Hex Flash and Sion E is absolutely disgusting. Right after we got the kill, I noticed that the bot wave is pushing towards our team, so I tell the Echo to come and gank bot. I've already swept the wards, but I end up putting down a control ward anyway. Just telling the jungler to gank is not enough. If he sees the control ward in that brush, it's much more likely that he's going to come and help us. The gank doesn't work, but that's not what that clip was about. I want to show you how to be proactive as a support. We're in a situation now where the wave is frozen in front of our tower. They've just been ganked, so they're playing safe, so I can easily abuse them by just not allowing them to get close. I'm jumping in and out of the brush with the Hex Flash, I'm threatening and engage, and there's nothing they can do about it. Other than killing our ADC. Not sure how that happened, maybe just a bit of mispositioning. Not really an issue though, I was able to keep the wave frozen. They didn't have the power to push me out 2v1, so we kept it frozen, and while they're trying to back, I was constantly interrupting it. I did this a couple times, I wasted about 1.5 minutes of their time. Fast forwarding now, the wave finally pushes in, I'm recalling, notice the Ahri has teleport and I've dropped a ward. I'm making sure to let her know that there is a deep ward, so if the opportunity ever does come up, she can teleport behind. It doesn't ever play out, but that doesn't really matter. It's more about being proactive because people don't think about this stuff unless you tell them. Over the long period of time, eventually it will work and net you more ELO. I'm not sure if you realize this, but the enemy bot lane has avoided multiple ganks now. This is either their second or third time. They're playing quite well together. Presumably this is a duo and they're on comms. Fortunately for our team, comms are no match for the 4-man gank in the bot lane. Even with the 4-man gank bot, those two held out remarkably well. That took us so long to clean up those 2 kills, but we do eventually get there, so that's what really counts. Because those two survived for so long, the enemy Talia, who was originally killed first, has respawned and has come back to lane. This leaves us with an interesting opportunity. Talia just could not help herself. Thought she had the edge on us, but she was wrong. I clear the ward and attempt to recall, but I realize that Kaiser's gonna check this with her ability, so I pass over to the next brush. And if I wanted to, I could easily recall right now, and that would be a very sane thing to do. Sadly for the enemy team, same things is not what we do here. And we see another juicy opportunity for me and for you. Of course, that's thanks to our sponsor, Boot.dev. These guys are here to help you forge a successful career in programming. The founders are both hardcore gamers themselves, and they know what it takes to transition you from gaming to creating games of your own. And if you use code Tilterella, you'll get 25% off. So their mission is to teach you programming, focusing on the back-end development, but with a twist. Boot.dev is a programming RPG. It serves to make your learning journey fun with experience, quests, levels, and achievements all on their global leaderboard if you want to get competitive. They even do bi-monthly boss fights where the community rallies together and gains bonus XP for each lesson completed during the event. Now, the median salary for a back-end developer in the United States for 2023 is over $100,000. That's a lot of money, and it's a role that often is remote or can be done hybrid. It's a really awesome gig, and with Boot.dev, you're going to learn the back-end development with Python and Go in a self-paced way that feels like a a role-playing game. The platform is designed to get you writing a ton of code because they believe that getting your hands on the keyboard and shipping projects is the only real way to learn. If this sounds appealing to you, click the link in the description box and use my code Tilterella for 25% off your first payment for boot.dev. That's 25% off your first month or your first year, depending on the subscription that you choose. Back into the action, we are waiting for our ADC to show up. We need to time this perfectly or else we're at risk of dying. We don't have the health to sustain the 1v1. I imagine you can see where this is going. Talia has died for the 3rd time in a row. She's died, come back from spawn, died, come back from spawn, died again. I mean, she is not having a great time, and it gets even worse after we go to the river and decide she's not worthy of that scuttle. Unfortunately for her, she also smited, which means that we can get this Drake completely for free. This game's a long one, so we're going to start fast forwarding through it. 18 minutes into this match, we find ourselves in a team fight in the enemy jungle. Overall, the teamfight goes heavily in our favor. We end up getting 4 kills, and they only managed to pick off 1 of us. We're now at the next Drake, and this is our 3rd Drake that we've just secured. We've got a kill lead, an objective lead, and everything's going great up until this moment. Out of completely nowhere, Ari gets picked off by the enemy Corki. Immediately, we jump the wall and attempt to get a kill onto the Corki to trade back. We do succeed, but at the cost of our ADC's life. To make matters worse, our jungler, the Echo, has died at the exact same moment on the other side of the map. This, of course, results in the enemy team securing a Baron, and immediately upon taking the Baron, they rotate to the bot lane, attempting to stack it as a team. The best counter to this is a counter push. They have to respond to the fact that we're pushing their mid lane. We're the team without the Baron, so if they're spending time dealing with us, they're not taking our objectives. That's the plan anyway. Sometimes plans don't work. They ended up using Talia ult and teleport to clean us up and then head straight through the bot lane, securing an open inhib. Now we're dealing with our top laner selling his items and threatening to AFK. I tell him that it's not worth the ban. I mean, the game's either going to be over or we're going to win it within a matter of minutes. What's the point of risking your account? The truth is, this Yone was having issues the entire game. He's just tilted as heck. Ultimately, the Mundo was doing a lot more in the team fights, and that's why they were coming back. And even in this team fight, you can see exactly what I mean. There's just nothing going his way. This fight, it wasn't a clear victory, but it still shows that our team comp has what it takes to win. We just need a lucky team fight. A couple minutes later, all of our team members have gone to separate lanes. This allows the enemy team to get yet another Baron completely for free. The mentality of our team is at an all-time low. Even though there's only 1 kill difference between the teams, there are players constantly putting the forfeit vote up. Doesn't make too much sense. We managed to get this pick onto Mundo. He's a big portion of their ability to win the team fights. This leads into us attempting to get a pick again. We're trying to stall out this Baron. It doesn't go our way. I definitely should have flashed preemptively rather than after I got pulled in. It's a big mistake and I end up dying for it. This isn't good. 34 minutes into this game, the enemy team has Baron and they're cleaning up both of our inhibs which were already open. This is them going for their final push. They can end right here and that's what they're attempting to do. Just in the nick of time, our ADC has come online. They don't have the power to push through and we survive. Now that I'm back alive, I use my ultimate to rejoin the team fight and we are looking to get an ace. We don't get it right away, but eventually we do secure the ace. That was an extended team fight. We got the soul and head back to base. During this time, the enemy has spawned and they're rushing that Baron. If you take a look at the map, the minions are crashing into our tower, so we have a very, very small window here to engage and try and attempt to close this game out. That engage was definitely a gamble, but it was a gamble that was necessary. If we don't take the risk there, they're just going to regroup and use the Baron to force in the waves, and we're never going to get a foothold. Unfortunately for the enemy team, they are spawning in one by one, which makes it easy picking for our ADC. Zeri gets another quadra kill. After all that, we gained 15 LP. Not the exact number that I would pick if I was handing out LP for that game, but hey, we can't complain. In game number 2, we have a Seraphine ADC, which means our level 1 is very weak. Weak, strong, I could care less. My goal is to get these summoner spells as quick as possible, which means us going headfirst into the enemy in that situation. Thresh had already lowered our health so much that it makes sense that we use our passive to try and get these summoner spells. A little bit of team RNG goes our way. Darius manages to 3v1 the top lane, including killing this Thresh, who immediately came back to the bot lane and attempted a dive. It was unsuccessful, and this lowered his health. I'm not letting him back. I want him to stay here because I can see my jungler is coming to gank. I clear the way for him. There's no wards, and we use that advantage to flank the enemy bot lane. Bit of an odd choice by this Ezreal to path backwards instead of going towards his tower. You can see that I chucked out my E anticipating him to E towards the tower, and he just chose to go the other way. The main problem being the other way is certain death. Don't worry, the Seraphine managed to safely escape the Aatrox. For a couple minutes this game, the lanes had swapped, so Ezreal was in the top lane and Aatrox was in the bottom. Eventually, it swapped back, but by then, we had such a big advantage that the lane was immediately over. We're now pushing on the tier 2, which was a bit greedy. They end up stacking us with every single member of their team, and I decide that I didn't want any part of it. 3 minutes in the future, we are now sieging the mid tower, and I bait the enemy team into a team fight. This is the first actual team fight of the mid game, and let me tell you what, it doesn't go in their favor. After spending our gold, we head back to the mid lane and spot the Aatrox walking through our wards. We know he's in that brush, so we take an absolute wild guess at his location. If we miss the Ezreal, we're hoping we hit the Aatrox, and we sure as hell do. Once it's 4v5, we drop the rift, and we are now just pushing through all their towers, and there's really nothing the enemy team can do about it. Look at all those voidlings. That's all she wrote for game number 2. A very quick one with very minimal errors. And with that, we gained 20 LP. We're reaching that point in the video where if you're still here, I'm assuming that you're enjoying the content. So feel free to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't. We're now on game 3, and I'm titling this game, Lillia Needs a Home. Our team is grouped at level 1 invading, and we managed to pick off the Kaiser. Karthus pings that he wants to start on the blue, so I crossed over to the other side of the map knowing that Lillia needs to start on these raptors. Our primary objective here isn't to kill her, it's to steal the little minions. We got 4 of them, she got 1, but she actually needs 2 in order to get that level 2. Now she's level 1, running over to her blue side, the same side that Karthus had just started on, and like it's straight out of some comic, I pass the Karthus as he enters enemy red side to steal the red buff. I was pathing to the bot lane, but apparently the MF has got it completely under control. This allows me to spend all my time trying to find the Lillia, who I know is looking to get into this red side. That's not going to happen. I'll sit here as long as I need to in order to stop you. Now Lillia passed straight through the mid lane, heading towards our blue side. I get level 2 on the minion wave, and as I'm crossing through, Lillia is actually waiting in this brush for me. Although we do end up dying to the Lillia, they end up overstaying their welcome and get hard punished by our team. Pantheon picks up a kill, and so does the Karthus. What you need to realize is Karthus has just taken blue side, red side, gotten a kill, and now he's got his entire side of his jungle to farm. We've pretty much already won this game. We head to the bot lane to try and create some more action. We are under leveled. That is what we traded for this massive lead that we got. Because we're so underleveled, I go for the route where if I suicide, I can use my passive, which is strong enough to fight the level 4s. Basically, a level 2 passive Sion is just as strong as a level 4 champion, so we could take this 2v2 and win. They have flash still. I figure they might have used it under the tower. Either way, that's still a valuable trade for us to get that Kaiser flash. The sooner I get to 0-3, the sooner I can start making riskier plays without risking any gold. As soon as I get back to lane, I'm already contesting Lillia in the river. Senna comes to protect her, which then puts her in an awkward position once I collapse back into the lane. Because we were roaming around the map during the early laning phase of this game, our MF has a significant level advantage. She's 2 levels above this Senna, and once she's dead, the enemy Kaiser is now under the tower with no flash, all alone, and Karthus has finished doing his full clear. Things are going downhill for the enemy team. Not only does Karthus pick up another kill, he's also already level 6, so our team is so far ahead in levels. The only one who's behind is me, and my level disadvantage, it's not even that significant anymore. We've already caught up to the enemy Senna. And just like that, we make up the gold from that flash earlier, and we make it up with interest. I can only imagine that Kaiser spent the next few minutes of this game regretting her choice to ever main the ADC role. Fast forwarding a significant time into the future, we've skipped 8 minutes. Look at the scoreline, 38-18. This game, it's not even close. We're completely walking over the enemy team. Our items are actually working. Yes, I'm talking about the support item. When it does work, it is amazing on Sion. It's 19 minutes into the game. The Baron hasn't even spawned, and we are knocking on their inhibitors. After securing the inhibitor, our team instantly rushes the Baron, and the enemy team is trying to get the consolation prize, which is the Drake. It's just spawned, and they're completely stacking it. I'm around the area trying to get vision on this in case we want to contest it, but our team decides, nope, we're not going for the Drake. We're actually going to go for their base. It is true, it's only 21 minutes, but their base is completely open. The wave's there in the top lane. Now I know the only thing I need to do is stop these backs. Remarkably, this plan worked. Our team was able to push through and end the game with the Baron, and we gained 16 more LP, so we're sitting at 475 LP. Last video, we had 1 new member join, thanks to Sion. Of course, there are plenty of perks to joining besides the shoutout, including member badges that'll go beside your name when you comment, channel emojis, access to the live stream VODs, plus when you leave a comment on the videos, it gets sent to a private section in my analytics, recognition on the main channel page. If you would like to support the channel and have a shoutout in the next video, click that join button next to the channel name today. Game number 4, you're about to witness the perfect game of Sion support, or we could probably call it Sion top if you really wanted to, considering where we're starting this game. This would be absolutely infuriating for the Xin Zhao. He's already died and used his teleport, which means he's missing every single creep under that tower. Once we finally made it back to the bot lane, we see some action happening in the top lane. Somehow, we do not win the 2v2. You think we would, considering he's got a level advantage and 2 kills. That doesn't bother me one bit, it just means we need to start making some action in the bot lane. Although the bot lane falls, our mid laner picks up a significant amount of gold. I then leave bot lane to head to mid and catch out the Lux. This leads into us rotating into the Void Grubs, which we successfully take for free, and that transitions straight into the top lane, where we use our Hex Flash to gank the Xin Zhao once again. Honestly, this game doesn't need much commentary. Every single play I made worked out flawlessly. The whole game was practically a montage. Eventually, we made it to the Baron and secured it without contest, and this allowed us to open up the base and force the team fight. The game ended shortly after this. Just a simple PSA, along with all the badges and emotes, we've now got a new channel outro. Let me know what you think of it in the comments below. And yeah, of course, if you want to support the channel, feel free to become a member. It helps out the channel a lot. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Y'all ain't on this level, bitches, Tilterella.